Dear Africa.
Well, here's my office. I'm here at my office. It's still March the 5th. I feel sad. I do think I'm gonna shut my office down though. I was thinking about paying the rent just for another month, just to see, you know, but I feel sad. I mean, it's just pitiful how, you know, 2, 3 bad apples spoiled the whole bunch. You know, like I was hiring another 2 people. I was feeding every day. 9 people. And now, you know, they've just messed it up for everybody. And I guarantee you they don't give a so there's really no reason for me to keep my office right now. Just gonna hold on to it just to give it 30 days because I do have a good space that I like and a cook, even though it's very small. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's just so messed up, you know. But you know, I don't. You just can't keep on letting people get over on you. My little office. Yeah, you just can't keep on letting people get over on you, regardless. It seems like they would have stuck together as a group and prevented it, tried to prevent it from happening, you know. So now I understand. A business owner told me that he has a farm. He has 5 hectares, he says, so it's 10 or more acres. And he pays them 60,000 francs a month for about 30 people that live on his property, and plus they eat, you know. So basically $60 a month for 30 people with food and shelter is included. And he told me that it's best to have people that are enemies. Like, you can't have them be friends. They need to be enemies because that way they tell on each other. And so he can keep track, you know, engage everything that's going on, because they're literally like don't like each other, and they're literally like telling on each other all the time. And he's like, that was like some good advice that he gave me. And I see why, because even though my 2 employees, they came in as friends, they didn't know the 3rd employee, but they became friends with them, you know, working in a small environment and working together every day. And that's what they did. They ganged up on me and they ganged up on me to deceive me. So I learned a lesson from that. So when I come back, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna have 2 offices that don't know each other. Like, I'm gonna have 2 whole different offices, maybe even 3, and they'll all be working for me and working together. However, they just won't be knowing each other, you know. And then that way maybe I can gauge you know, it won't be such a, you know, you got to shut everything down because they conspired together to steal from your business and shut your whole business down. You know, that's all I can say is what I would be able to do. And I would suggest anybody else to do that too. You would think that you wouldn't have to do that, but I'm telling you, this shit is crazy. This is the second time that people that were friends, I hired them, and that they got all together like and quit pretty much all at one time. You know, so I think what they're thinking is, because then they're like the first guy that quit at the office, they were like, oh, he said, they were translating for me. They were like, oh, he said, you know, it's not enough money, but, you know, he'll come and work for you later and you could just pay him, da 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 da. And I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? So what they're thinking is, they're thinking that they're going to put you in some type of position. That's what I mean by conspiring. They think they're going to put you in some type of position to where you need them, and so you're just going to pay them more money. I guess it's kind of like a union type of thing. I don't know, but what they don't understand, especially about Black Americans, is, you know, we're going to make it. We're going to make it regardless. And we don't like people that get over on us, you know, that think they're getting over on us. So it just doesn't work with everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because I'd rather shut my shit down, go back to the drawing board, than to crawl back that played me like this and give them some more of my money. You know what I'm saying? The same way I told the first ones that did that, y'all got me up. And I guarantee you, one day you're gonna see me, whether it be on social media, whether it be running around Kigali or whatever, and you're gonna regret how you played me. I guarantee them that. You know, even if they don't run into me, they're gonna regret it sometime in their life, because they're gonna come back and say, damn, that woman was good to us. She was good to us. She treated us with dignity and respect. You know, she gave us a flexible job, because they're part-time jobs, they don't even have those here. I'm pretty sure I've said that before. They don't have part-time jobs here that has flexibility. You either work the whole day or you don't work at all. You know, so a small business coming in offering them flexibility and a part-time job, you know, they don't appreciate that shit. They don't. I haven't found any that do. I have not. And I'm up to, like I said, I'm up to what, 14 people that I've tried to hire, and that's in the time span of my total time here of maybe 2 months. They don't even get past a month with their fluckery. They don't even, you know. So while they think they're being slick, and what Black Americans need to understand, and this is why I'm telling y'all the cold truth. I'm not sugarcoating. Like I told them people in the group, the chat group, you know, the Americans and the Caribbeans, I don't have to sugarcoat, you know, and this is what the truth about it is. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from coming here. Like I said, I want to come back. You know what I mean? And there's things that you have to deal with in every country pretty much. But I'm just trying to give it to y'all how it is. So you won't be surprised. You can already take steps before you get here. Like, one of the very, very first people you should hire when you get here is an interpreter. You need probably 2. You need an interpreter with you damn near 24 hours a day. You really do. You know, you have to send people out. After you go out, the second thing that you need to understand is, whatever you want, you cannot purchase it yourself, even from the stores that have the prices marked. Because I've even started to be convinced that they have the prices marked, high marked, but they don't sell it to the locals for that price. I'm the smaller markets, probably the bigger grocery stores sell it to everybody for the same, but I'm talking about these smaller markets that do have some prices marked. I mean, so you have to take pictures of what you want. You go out and then you wait a few days and you send one of your employees back to purchase what you want so that they can get the good price. Even on the laundry, like I had a load, which is a half a load. I had like panties. I had 20 something pairs of panties that I wanted laundered, and I thought these girls were cool with me. So I went to a place where I used to stay at. They charged me, and they have a washer and a dryer. They charged me 6,000 francs to wash the load of clothes. My assistant was like, why did they charge you so much? She said, you only pay like 1,500 francs to get a load of clothes washed here. So if they're going to fuck you around any which way, any kind of way that they can, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's such a catch-22. It's such a catch-22 because I can see that the growth and I can see the development that they can afford to participate in, the majority of them, and I feel for them, and I don't think that they can't talk against the government here, and then the government is doing the best that they can, and they are doing a good job. I don't even blame the government. I really blame if there is some blame to be given, because it's really the same over the whole world. But when I look at it, I really blame the people that are first able to benefit from everything that the government is doing. They're the ones, the elite of this country, that they're selling out their own country. They're basically selling out their own country. Most of them don't live here. They live in Belgium, 9 times out of 10, somewhere in France, because it's a RWANDA francs. It's based off of a French economy, I guess, and they're bleeding their country dry to support their lifestyle that they have over in Belgium or France or whatever country they're in. They don't care about the locals, the regular working people, whether they can participate, whether they can afford to stay a night in this nice hotel, whether they can afford to go to a nice restaurant and order anything besides a drink. They don't care about that shit. They don't care. They think that they're getting over because they're getting these white rich people's money that's coming into this country. And what they don't realize is the white people are really taking you over and making you your country over, because while you think you're getting over with these rich white people, these rich Chinese people, they're giving you a little bit of nothing. If you're charging 4,000 US a month to a rich person, it's a lot of rich people, and black people know they spend $30,000-$40,000 on a damn bag. You know what I'm saying? So you think that you're getting over on them because they're giving you so much money to do a business here, but what they're doing is they're getting you to upset your countrymen. They're getting you to not allow your own countrymen to participate in this growth. And you think you're getting over, but they're having the last laugh because they're keeping your country unstable off a little bit of pocket change that don't mean to them. And black Americans, we do have our very wealthy black Americans. However, they don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, but I do like it here. The one of the black guys on the group chat was like, what are you doing here? You're not black anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm here because I can pretty much go where my government says I can go and where my visa says I could go. That's why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here doing whatever, what I want to do. You can't stop me from going anywhere. You're so ignorant that you're not even black. First of all, I thought all the black people had came to the conclusion that every human being comes from Africa. So I'm not black enough to be in Africa, but like I said, y'all have seen my tears. I'm used to it. I'm used to some black people just not accepting me. I'm used to some white people not accepting me. I guess I just really need to find my tribe of people that want to accept all human beings just for being a human being. Like I tell people, these religions got you thinking that you're not supposed to mix with this color, you're not supposed to mix with that color. Nature has already determined that a human being is a human being. Any color human being is capable of having a baby with any other human being. A dog and a cat, from what I know, can't have no baby. A rat and a fish can't have a baby, but all human beings can have and can procreate with each other. It's just these religions and it's just different prejudice and racism that has people thinking that you need to stick to your own kind. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. Those are not the laws of nature. You know, when you follow the laws of nature, that's when you can get ahead the quickest, and that's when you will become more open-minded and more woke, as they say, when you can start looking at nature and start following the laws of nature instead of following all these ideas of men, you know, that are meant to divide and conquer us. So I'm out of my office. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and pay it for this month. I feel so sad. I really feel sad. I feel sad. But my dream, you know, was like, you're done, you know, and it was a guy cooking or cutting some chicken. So I'm hoping that they were meaning I'm done on the restaurant. You know, like that wasn't a good idea to lease. You know, you're looking at $4,000 a month, $20,000 to do repairs on someone else's property, and that doesn't even include equipment, food, your taxes, and your staff. You know, so it just wasn't a good idea. You know, I'll just stick to my original plan to build a boutique hotel with a commercial kitchen and an outdoor amphitheater. I'll just stick with my original plan. You know, I think I was getting ahead of myself. You know, $4,000 a month, 4 times 12, what's that? $48,000 a year plus 20. You're looking at $68,000 in the first 12 months. And where's your return? That doesn't even include, you know, the taxes, the equipment, you know, the staff, the food, you know. So you're looking at $100,000 in the first 12 months, basically, of being in business. And nobody in this country can afford to come in and have dinner, you know, at your restaurant. You know, they'll come because it's the new place or because it looks beautiful, and they'll order a drink, you know, or maybe a beer. You know what I'm saying? And come on now. And then that girl in Ghana, she was like, well, you can do business, and you can, you know, just one rich person can come in and just make your whole, we were talking about a clothing store, and she was like, just one rich person can come in and buy one outfit for $2,000 and just pay your whole monthly, you know what I'm saying, thing, you know, just off of one person. I mean, do you want to do business for one or two people? And then you're thinking about a restaurant, even retail. I don't know. You know, it could be because I'm not one of the elite. You know, I wasn't born rich. You know, I didn't hang around with rich people. It could be me. Maybe I'm seeing something wrong. Maybe I just don't know the way things go. You know, but the investors I've been around, all they talk about is your return on investment, your return on equity. That's all they talk about. You know what I'm saying? And I could eyeball return. You know what I mean? So it's not even, it's like even a waste of time sitting back trying to do some projections off of tourists and expats and the rich. Come on now. I don't know. I don't get it. But try again. You know, please share. Let's talk about this. You know, everything that I'm talking about, let's talk about it with each other in a kind way. So catch me on the backstory in 10 more days. I'm on the countdown. And CBI, Commercial Business Integrated. Like, share, thumbs up, do everything y'all gotta do to support me, the channel, you know, if you want to. If not, hey, just watch it and get some good information. It's probably a lot of people get some enjoyment out of me crying all the damn time. Just boo-hoo crying. Oh my gosh. You know, you just want things to work. And you want everybody to be happy and everybody to be able to make it, and, you know. She came onto the country shores as if she were a 100-year storm. Most would heed the warning in time, take shelter before even catching the enticing smell of the beautiful coming rain. A few godlike men yet untamed by Mother Nature, would embrace the strong, somehow comforting change of winds. Allow themselves to take up the treasures revealed, left behind her impassioned path. Knowing her omnipresence is in the same nature of themselves, which called unto the storm.